day everyone, I'm Kayla Sarani and welcome to the video presentation of Group 2 for the topic the KKK and the Kartilya ng Katipunan and its analysis. So, we were going to discuss about the KKK first. The KKK is the abbreviation of Kataas-Taasan, Kagalang-Galangang Katipunan ng mga anak ng bayan. It was founded by Andres Bonifacio, the father of the Katipunan. The KKK has two main objectives. They want a united Filipino nation for the total independence of the Philippines from the Spaniards. KKK was the only revolutionary organization that aims for the total independence of the Philippines from Spain. There are already, prior to the existing of the KKK, there are already existing organization before the KKK, just like the revolution of Diego Silang, Marcel H. del Pilar, Jose P. Laurel, and Jose Rizal. As for Diego Silang, his organization was the longest running revolt in the country. They have their own revolutionary organization, but their objective or their aim is only for the independence of their locality. As for Diego Silang, he only wants independence for Ilocos, since he wanted to be the king of Ilocos. That's what he aims. For Marcelo H. del Pilar and other names stated like Jose Rizal, they just wanted for equal representation, education, para hindi na makatanggap ng abuse sa mga Pilipino during that time. But the KKK was the only organization that aims for the total independence of the country, and that's what makes them different from the other organization named.
Good day everyone, I am Rabia Amil from BS Ed English 1B. So now, let's proceed with the historical background of the Kartilya ng Katipunan. So, the original title is Mga Aral ng Katipunan ng Mga Anak ng Bayan, or Lessons of the Organization of the Sons of the Country. So, Bonifacio was impressed with Jacinto's style of writing and decided to adopt the Kartilya as the guidebook for the rules and regulations of the Katipunan. However, from the time that Andres Bonifacio saw the value and the essence of the Kartilya that was written by Emilio Jacinto, then the Kartilya was used instead the Decalogue as the code of the conduct of the Katipuneros. The Kartilya ng Katipunan was composed of 14 rules. These rules became the code of the conduct of the Katipuneros and were to be followed by the new members of the organization. The essence of the code of conduct is to spread equality, to stop gender superiority. The Katipuneros saw that we are all equal, we are the same human beings regardless of our skin, there should be equality. The question is, was the Kartilya the law of the Katipunan? I think pwede nating sabihin na ito yung naging batas nila during the time as the Katipunan was existed. However, there is a slight difference between the law and the code of conduct, because the law itself is more specified sa mga ano yung hindi dapat gawin, while the code of conduct specifies more on what should we do bilang isang miyembro ng Katipunan.
That's all for quite background about the KKK. Before we're going to discuss about the ideologies that was taught by the Kartilya, we were going to first discuss the historical background of the Kartilya ng Katipunan. We will now move on to the analysis of the Kartilya. The Kartilya ng Katipunan was made as a guidebook for the Katipuneros during that time. It is probably for first until the 6th rule. It is for the self-development of the Katipunero, and then to make them a better person. This also, there are rules to parang ini-impose dun kung paano i-treat ng mga Katipunero o ng tao ng ang mga babae at ang ibang tao. Let me read the rule number 4 and number 14. Rule number 4, whether our skin be black or white, we are all born equal, superiority in knowledge, wealth, and beauty, and to be understood but not superiority by nature. It says here that we should be treated equal, regardless of our skin color, regardless of our beauty, regardless of our wealth. We should be treated equally. That's what Emilio Jacinto wants. Kasi during that time, as we all know, if you're a Filipino, Indios ka, mababa ka. So, maltreatment agad ang mararamdaman mo, abuse. But with the Kartilya ng Katipunan, I mean, these rules are not just dedicated for the Katipuneros, but to all the Filipinos. So, yun yung gustong makuha ni Jacinto, yun yung gusto niyang gawin ng mga Pilipino, ang i-treat ng tama ang iba, equal rights, equal representation. Kasi sinabi dito na kahit regardless of your beauty, regardless of your wealth, you should be treated equally. Rule number 14, when these rules of conduct shall be known to all, the longed for sum of liberty shall rise brilliant over this most unhappy portion of the globe, and its race shall diffuse everlasting joy among the confederated brethren of the same race. The lives of those who have gone before, the fatigueness and the well-paid sufferings will remain. If he who desires to enter has informed himself as all these and believes he will be able to perform what will be his duties, he may fill out the application for admission. So, yung context ng rule na ito is, Kartilya was a reaction to some values na dapat itama o imali. So, if ma-fulfill nila yung rules na yon, they can be able to fill out the form and be a member of the Katipunan. If we were going to analyze again the rule number 14, it's about equality and pagiging equal, walang taas, walang mababa, dahil maganda ka, dahil mayaman ka, walang mataas, walang mababa. It's more of equal lang. So the next rules were like teachings about the treatment towards women. So rule number 10 and 11, let me read. On the thorny part of life, man is the guide of woman and the children. And if guide leads to the principes, those whom he guides will also go there. So, rule number 11, thou must not look upon woman as a mere plaything, but as a faithful companion who will share with thee the practice of life. If you're going to analyze it, it is how they should treat women. Before, during the Spaniards, women are treated as plaything. Diba? Pagkatapos nilang paglaruan, yun lang, pinaglalaruan lang nila yung babae that time. Ang daming mga maltreatments, abuse na na-receive ang mga babae that time. But that's why sinulat yon ni Emilio Jacinto itong Kartilya para ma-treat na maayos sa mga babae, kasi he believed that ang mga babae ay kompanyo ng mga lalaki. Isa sa bahay lang, nagtatrabaho sa bahay, nag-aalaga ng bata, kaya ang ilaw ng tahanan ng tawag sa kanila. This also stated that this stands against rape. Other rules also state about being selfless, just like the rule number 2, to do good for personal gain and not for its own sake is not virtue. So here we can see that you will extend your help for the sake of others, for the sake of gusto mong tumulong, hindi yung for personal gain. Yun yung gustong i-uphold Emilio Jacinto, kaya niya ginawa itong Kartilya. The difference between the Decalogue of Bonifacio and the Kartilya is that The Decalogue mainly focus on one's duty to God, country, neighbor, family, and the Katipunan himself. It tells about honor, charity, and self-sacrifice for the beloved, and also spoke and warned about traitor and disobedient. The primary source of our topic is the Kartilya ng Katipunan. Thank you.
I'm Amina B. Azib, and I will discuss the background of the author. So, historians regard Emilio Jacinto as the brains of the Katipunan, while Artemio Ricarte called him the Moses of the Filipino people, while Epifanio de los Santos considered him as the soul of the revolution and the eyes of the Katipunan. So, Emilio Jacinto was born in Trozo, Manila, on December 15, 1875. His father was Mariano Jacinto, who according to Zaide, he was a bookkeeper, but according to E. de los Santos, he was a merchant. His mother, Josefa Dizon, was a manghihilot or midwife. He studied at the private school of Maestro Ferrer and later at the private school of Jose Dizon. So, he was enrolled by his uncle at the Colegio de San Juan de Latran for his bachelor's degree, and he later transferred to the University of Santo Tomas to study law. He used the pen names Pinky Ann, Dimasilaw, and Ka Ilyong. So, he joined the Katipunan in 1894 and was the youngest member at 19 years old, and he was also the fiscal, secretary, editor, and later he became the general of the Katipunan. So he also became the director of the printing shop and library of the Katipunan. So the library contained written works on tactics and weaponry, and the French Revolution, and works of demagogues. So Jacinto was proclaimed Generalissimo of the North, or Punong Hukbo sa Hilagaan, and he became the advisor of the Supremo and furnished Bonifacio with weapons, money, printing materials, and musical compositions. He was also the editor of the newspaper Kalayaan, and he died of malaria on April 16, 1899 at 24 years old.